Welcome back to the Cheeky Crypto Podcast with your hosts, Mike, JB, and Chris. Many thanks for listening in, liking, and subscribing. If you haven't done so, do us a favor and smash that like and subscribe button and turn on all notifications. We really do appreciate it. If you haven't joined the Discord or Patreon, links in the description down below. A fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. I guarantee you won't be disappointed. And most importantly, it's absolutely free to join. Now, let's get into some crypto talk. Gentlemen, what's happening?
Look, before we actually get into this, I just want to clear up that this isn't a really old podcast. This is a brand new one, and he's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Da, da, da.
There we go. You may have forgot what he looked like. It is none other than the gnome.
Check it.
I love it. I do. I saw it. I was like, I'm gonna have to remind everyone.
Now, why again did I get that? I still am trying to figure out why I was called. Was it JB? I think, Chris, you called me gnome first, but I'm still trying to figure out why the hell I was called the gnome.
Well, you obviously you've got like a lot of gray hair, right? Like, and you were very red, and your cheeks were red at the time.
This is all I got to say about that right here. See this guy?
That is it.
That's him. Oh, that's too funny. I guess I do have some rosy cheeks sometimes. I went to the doctor last week. I think they said I'm borderline high cholesterol. So maybe it could be all the fast food that I eat. I really eat like a complete idiot. And yeah. But yeah, so I'm back. Look, let's do a real quick. Girlfriend broke her foot, right? Had to be mom and dad for 2 months because she couldn't move. Had to drive, drop off, run a business. She's running her business. Life's been a little crazy, right? And it literally happened like first of the year and then like January 3rd. And it's like, bang, welcome to the new year. So anyways, back. I'm back. JB, how the hell are you?
Yeah, we're all good. All good. Same intro as always. I will stick to this. We're all good. It's been quite good. Relatively quiet week in crypto, I would say. We've had a lot of sideways movement until, we had a little pullback today. That was quite fun watching the liquidity grab. But yeah, all in all, it's good, buddy. It's good to have you back on.
I mean, look, since I've been gone, you've gone full into crypto.
Yep.
You're a beast now with TA. I don't even text Festoon anymore. I just bug the shit out of JB now. Nick, if JB doesn't answer me and I really need to go to the big dog, I try to just message Nick. But sometimes that takes 5 to 7 days to play out, if Nick gets back to you. So it's kind of like, but JB, oh, look, full disclosure, please don't everyone message JB for TA right now.
I already do. It's fine.
I thought Chris was supposed to be learning TA also. Chris, is that correct?
Look, I'll get there in my slow-paced way. But look, yeah, it's busy my end. Like, it's hard to get the time to do it. I'm not going to lie.
Just for clarity on that, though, like the realization as to how busy this is as an operation on a day-to-day basis, it's very eye-opening. Like, obviously, I knew it was going to be busy, day on day, every day here. I know I always had a lot of work to do, but speaking with Chris every day, speaking with Nick and Festoon every day, with AK, understanding the things that Keith does, so much goes on here on a daily basis. Every hour of the day, there's always something to do. Was it Monday? I took a couple of hours out because I had something I had to take care of, and I came back and the messages, the TA that kind of stacked up. And it was a quiet day. I think if folk actually had an insight as to know what's going on just for this side here, for what I do, then add on top everything that Chris is doing, everything that Nick's doing, the AK, end times, everybody here, it's an unbelievable amount of work that goes on a daily basis here.
Yeah, the inner workings of everything is quite fascinating. And I think a lot of people in the Discord and in the Patreon, they just they're not supposed to understand any of it, right? Like, that's not why they're here. They're paying for a service, and you guys provide a great service. And, like, I've been out for a couple months, the podcast just kept going, right? So hopefully I can come back now and kind of loosen up y'all's reins a little bit on having to do the podcast all the time. But I think the whole thing with the Cheeky Crypto just staff side, everybody's there to pick each other up, right? Like, everybody's got each other's backs. Somebody's sick or out. Like, there's really no complaining. Everybody just kind of does what they do. Everybody loves crypto. They love the space. They love the industry. They love helping people. And, it's been cool. But yeah, man, it's fun to be back. I love this whole thing. And hopefully one day I can get back into gaming, but I don't even know if I have time for that. I barely even have time to do an hour podcast right now. So we'll talk about the gaming. But I did want to say I played gaming the other night with Chris and JB and Nick, and I have to say Chris has gotten better at Call of Duty.
I think I beat you, didn't I?
Well, that's never going to happen. But I will give you a shout out that you did much, much better.
I'm a beast now. I'm a beast.
Chris could probably only name 2 guns in the whole game.
If you had seen us in action last night, man, we were slaying.
You guys are slaying bots, though.
No, real people. We killed about 7 in the game last night.
Oh, we should do a private match, and I should play me against you 3.
We were like animals.
I think we should do it.
Let's do it.
Me against you 3. I bet I win team deathmatch.
I bet you don't.
Let's bet 1 full Bitcoin on it.
One, yeah, but you won't pay up.
I don't need to pay up. I know I win.
We'll put that into a smart contract. Get your Bitcoin.
That's too funny.
Well, listen, let's cut it back here a little bit. You know, like obviously you've had a little bit of time out, Mike. You know, you've had some time off like Nick on a Wednesday, but how have you found obviously the market since the start of January? You know, everything that's been going on. I know you still keep in touch with everything, but how have you felt everything so far?
I'm sorry. I don't even think I heard anything you said because of the Nick thing.
Are you both off tomorrow? You and Nick, Mike?
Well, tomorrow is my very long day, so yes, I'm off tomorrow.
Just for clarity, that was tongue in cheek. Nick doesn't have a Wednesday off.
He does.
Yeah.
Don't lie.
He's off from crypto, but he still does a video too. Yeah.
So yeah, just cut it back. Obviously, since the start of January, how have you felt the market? You know, everything that's happened with the news and stuff. What's your thoughts on it? Because you hear from myself, you hear from Chris and Nick quite a lot. So it'd be good to get your thoughts.
To be fair, I'm pissed off at the market. Like I'm ready to make some money, right? But it's kind of, to be honest, boring. That's just my feeling it. You know, I keep up to date with price action and, you know, things like that. And I think it's a good time for companies that are building new products and new projects and things like that. I think it's a great time for them because everything's just kind of trading sideways. I don't know. It's just kind of been a boring start to the year. We'll get into Jerome Powell here in a second. I know Chris is going to be like, I told you so. Because I think he called it several weeks ago that it was a stupid move what they did. But yeah, I think just overall, I feel like the world is just waiting for one thing to happen for the markets to just totally fall off a cliff. But I will say this, I want to go into this really quick. I've never been really good with financing. My own money, taxes, I've always been horrible at it. Since I've gotten into crypto though, the amount that I follow the markets and the understanding, trying to understand interest rates, and like, it's not just following crypto, you're understanding the financial markets a little bit better, which then helps you make better decisions from a financial standpoint, like leasing a car, buying a car. Do I buy a house now? Understanding interest rates. Okay, this is what happens when the Fed does this. Like, so it's not just learning crypto sometimes, like even in the Discord, it's not all crypto. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's discussed in the Discord and the Patreon that I didn't know about. A lot of stuff, like China stuff and Europe stuff, like things that you didn't realize and understand. And I think that's kind of what I've kind of focused on since the beginning of the year, is trying to understand all of the inner workings of the financial world and how crypto ties into it and why crypto moves the way it moves when, say, the S&P moves or things like that. I think that was a long-winded answer, but I think that's kind of how I've treated where we're at in the market. That it's just sideways to me right now. I don't see anything. Nothing's exciting me right this second, but it will soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at like Silver Bank, for example, and
Silvergate.
I kind of feel like there's this big agenda going on to pull the market down. I really do believe that, and you're seeing a squeeze with retail in the respect that the banks are now making it tougher. Like, I agree with like not buying crypto on credit, with a credit card, for example. We've seen a few banks ban that in the UK and in other parts of the world, and I think rightly so. But they're also limiting the amount that you can invest or onboard with your debit card and your bank as well. And this is something that I really disagree with, because ultimately, like, it's my hard-earned cash, and if I want to go spend it on a stripper or crypto, that should be down to me to make that decision. Like, make me informed, don't get me wrong. Read through your little script telling me how dangerous it is and that you can lose everything, but don't tell me no. And I think this is getting a bigger problem. It's almost like the banks are, right, we're going to put a 5,000 a day limit on it. Okay, we can get away with that. We're going to reduce it to 2. Oh, look, we're not getting any pushback. 500 quid a day. Okay, 2 grand a month, a grand a month. Like, and then when they get pushback, it'd be okay, we'll put it back up to 2. And it's like a child trying to just push boundaries. And I think this is something that people need to be pushing back against. The banks need to be informed that they could also have a run on them if everybody goes to take all of their money out of the bank accounts, the traditional bank accounts. Well, they're going to have a problem too, right? And I think people need to realize who's actually in charge here.
I think that's probably why the banks are doing that, is they're scared of the run on the banks, right? Like, if crypto works and crypto gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then my grandma figures out, oh, now I understand how to move money through the blockchain. Banks are, what's the point of a bank?
Well, I think it's more that they've got liquidity issues and concerns.
Yeah,
I think it's more around the liquidity rather than, necessarily being worried about crypto. Obviously, with interest rates going up and, inflation and all this side of things, you're seeing, like, basically the reduced amount of fear in the system, right? That's basically what you're seeing. You're seeing that reduce significantly. So yeah, the Fed obviously made a mistake. I think we highlighted that as they were doing it. I think I wasn't quite polite about it, but honest nonetheless.
Yeah.
And I've been saying for a while that a lot of people have got the markets completely wrong, including the Fed. And I think the sign of them coming out today to say, actually, we think it's going to be far more severe, is a sign that, what I was saying was very, very accurate. So I'm expecting the market to pull back. One of two things is going to happen, in my opinion. We're going to retest the lows, or we're going to go down to new lower lows. And I think we're going to go down to new lower lows. And obviously, we're not going to go down in a straight line. I think this is going to take some time to play out. I think what the banks are doing, the issue with Silvergate and all of that, I think we're going to see a few more companies go bankrupt. I think we're going to see more people be made redundant. We're going to see people failing to pay their credit card bills, and when their savings run out.
That's not talked about at all. That's not talked about enough. Well, it's because the big banks don't want you to know that. All that they kind of talk about it a little bit. That the debt crisis on Americans, for instance, is huge. It's massive.
The credit card debt is at an all-time high. And the reports that I read are now saying that, general public's savings is being utilized to pay off credit card debt. And that's going to run out, right? And when it does, people are, they're not going to be able to pay their debts off. They might lose their houses.
Housing's going to be a big issue.
Yeah. It's
as rates continue to go up.
It's all going to be a really big issue. And it's interesting because I was talking to somebody that's like heavily in the property game recently, and they were saying, like, think about how long you get your mortgage over, 25, 30 years. Well, you're probably going to get 2 or 3 recessions in that period of time. The bank's going to have your house. It's interesting stuff, right? Like, when you actually think about it, like in that sort of level of detail, I don't think they're too far wrong.
What else I think has been quite good recently is obviously on the CC Finance channel. I was listening to the bit that was up about Joe Rogan, guys that are listening who, you know, I'm a big fan of Joe Rogan. I really like listening to things he says. He doesn't kind of beat around the bush. He tells it as it is, whether you like him or not, whether you agree with him or not. But, you know, recently the chats that were Joe Rogan was having about crypto, you know, I think it was very relevant as to what's going on right now as well. So obviously, the advice folk go and have a listen to the video that was put up there. But yeah, I totally agree with everything that is going on. Macroeconomics right now, they haven't changed since, you know, the last time we sat and spoke about this in depth. It's still in a horrible situation. The used car market has not yet been affected. This is still going to come. Shopping still getting dearer on a weekly basis. You see guys regularly talking about that on the Discord also. Everything is going up in price. Banking is an absolute nightmare. I had a conversation with Nick and Chris the other night where I sold a car, and the issue trying to take payment, so it was a private sale of a car, and the payment had to be made in separate individual payments of this amount. So the guy had to sit, I actually sent him away for a coffee. He had to come back 4 or 5 hours later once all these increments of payments had been made. So, you know, I could hand over ownership of the car. So everything here is tying up that, you know, it's not in a good situation right now.
Yeah, like I mean, I'll just go back to, you know, originally it was supply chain issues for COVID, right? So yesterday I went and got a car for the missus, and I mean, it's a big dealership. It's supposed to be. I mean, it's been there for 42 years. There was 12 cars on the lot total. 12 cars. And so I'm like, okay, they're not talking about supply chain issues anymore. Like it isn't there. But if you go to look for new cars, like I was looking at all the dealerships, right? We were open book. We were fine, whatever we found that we liked, we were just going to get it. So I probably went to 7 different dealerships, and to get a new car, you're on a wait list because they're just not making them fast enough. The supply chain issues are all over the place. So, you know, it's funny. I feel like there's a movie called Groundhog Day. Have you guys ever seen that? Chris, have you ever seen Groundhog Day?
No.
You gotta see it.
I live it.
At Groundhog Day, right? It's just over and over. It's the same shit. We're now here. Okay. When was the last time I did a podcast?
Oh, now you're asking.
6 or 8 weeks ago, maybe.
A while ago, right? We're talking about the same stuff.
1960.
We're talking about the same stuff. Like, you got jokes today. That's cool.
I am.
Chris has got jokes. That's all right. I'm gonna get him before we end today. Sorry, I'm gonna get him back. I just feel like we're still talking about the same thing. I think 2023, in my opinion, 2023 is going to be the year of learning for crypto. I think it's going to be the year of I can't think now. What, JP? Go ahead.
Do you want to talk about the exact same thing? I was reading an article before we came on here that Alameda Research are suing Grayscale.
Did you see Three Arrows Capital got their funding for a exchange?
Yeah.
The two owners of the Three Arrows Capital.
I don't think it's going to come to anything personally.
What in the hell is going on? That's like saying free Sam Bankman-Fried. Let him loose. Just let him loose.
You don't think that's going to happen?
Oh, no. Well, who knows? I don't know. 2023 is going to be the year of learning. That's all I want to say.
To me, the whole Three Arrows Capital thing, right? You're looking for a babysitter. Somebody comes to be the babysitter, but has got a criminal record of abusing children. Are you going to employ them as a babysitter? No. So why the hell would you go and invest your money with 3 Arrows?
I'd probably take him out back and beat the shit out of him, to be honest with you.
So the same premise for 3 Arrows Capital. You're not going to invest the money on them. You'd rather take them out the back and put them out to pasture.
Who gives people like that funding? Chris, who gives people like that funding?
Well, I think we need to look at it and just make an absolute joke of them. I really don't know. I haven't looked into it. Like, yeah.
You've got to look into it.
Scratching my head, but like, yeah, nothing surprises me in this world. It's
Gary Gensler.
it's massively corrupt, is what the world we live in my opinion. I think that we've seen the SEC attacking Binance. We've seen Kevin O'Leary kind of, I guess, and I guess speculation is behind a lot of the articles that we see that are basically accusations against Binance with no concrete evidence. like a clear agenda. I've just seen actually that a US judge has shut down the SEC, saying that the agency will not be allowed to interfere with crypto bankruptcy proceedings. And this is all to do with Voyager. So look, I think that, again, like I mentioned before, they are trying to, again, just push boundaries a bit like a child. I think the banks are doing it. I think the regulators are doing it. I've kind of said that I think the SEC, Gary Gensler, the leadership team, they all need to be investigated. This has all happened under their watch, and they haven't abided by their own free mission statement, their 3 bullet points on their mission statement, I should say.
JB, do you want to get in Jerome Powell's speech today? Chat about what he discussed.
One other thing, I'll crack on before we talk about that. There's still pain, obviously. It's kind of what we're talking about. There's still a lot of pain to come. And there's a big article out just now from Meta, and the speculation that Meta's still got thousands upon thousands of employee layoffs still to come. So obviously, I don't know the exact figure how many folk are employed by Meta. It's, it's going to be a vast amount of staff. So, from the corporate side of the world, they excuse me, they need to still lay off staff after laying off so many staff previously. We've seen the likes of Meta and Amazon laying off tens of thousands of staff, and the fact they still need to cut it more. Excuse me, I do apologize. The fact that they've still got to cut so many staff. Now, these are massive corporations that are still in pain. We know they're still in profit, even with this amount of staff, but it's not enough profit. So, for them to get to their targets, they're going to cut so many staff. There's just so much still going on here for the the pain to really hit in this bear market.
I think I'll add to that. For those that are not aware, this is like common within tech when it's this sort of stage of a recession, right? This is common if you've ever experienced a recession. There'll be many people that are watching that haven't experienced a recession, or they have, but they were a child, right? And what I would say is my expectation is that we see more people losing their jobs within the crypto space. We've seen Polygon Matic obviously get rid, I think it was 10 or was it 20% of their staff. We saw Immutable do something very similar. For me, that is the very start of what I anticipate we're going to see in the crypto space, because like some of the other tech firms, traditionally speaking, it's going to be no different when it comes to cryptocurrency projects, right? Those developers, they're not cheap, and they're going to have to remove some of them off their balance sheets in order to get through this crypto winter, because this is not a bull market as much as people have been sort of articulating that it is, and talking about the halving cycle. And every single time that we get to this point of the Bitcoin halving, it goes up and we're in that bull run. It's the start of the bull run. Look, I'll say it again, like I did back in June, your indicators are going to get invalidated this time. I said it last time with these 7 bullshit indicators, and it's exactly what we saw. We saw a new lower low, and I'm saying it again. So look, be mindful that a lot of these people are just looking at a very small data set and basing everything that they say on a very small, insignificant amount of data, and they haven't got the understanding of the macro landscape, the experience of a recession to truly understand where we're heading.
I think influencers are reaching for views, right? So if there is a pump, one green candle, it's tweeted about, and then there's a video that goes out right after it because they're just reaching for views. That's my opinion on it. I never, if I watch another channel and I see something, I'd never see, like you just said, any backed up data that supports their narrative. So it's unfortunate because some of these people have, anywhere from 300,000 to 500,000 followers that, people are wondering what the hell to do. I mean, it's that type of market though, where you're like, what do I do? Right.
Yeah. I mean, you can cut data in so many ways, right?
Yeah.
You can paint a picture how you want it to be, painted. You can have it. Yeah. Just like those behind the gnome. Look, you can have it, sort of fulfill your narrative. And we see this with data firms, talking about whales buying. It was absolute, utter nonsense. And we've been highlighting that the whales have not been buying for a long time. And people question us, and we're just giving people raw data, like uncut. There's no bias. Like, I'm bullish on crypto, but do I want to paint a picture that we're in a bull market when we're clearly not? Would I want people to lose money in that? Because that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be painting a picture to suit a narrative and potentially impact everybody financially really, really badly. And a lot of people in the comments say, oh, you missed the start of the bull run. No, we didn't. If you go back and listen to some of the podcasts and the comments that we were saying in the live chats and on the AMAs and that side of things, I was saying expect some bear market rallies, if I could get my words out. And that is what we've got. It's overextended. I think that's through manipulation. But ultimately, it's just a bear market rally. We saw these in 2018. It's embarrassing for me to see some of these influencers with really big followings making out that it's a bull run when they've experienced bear market rallies like this back in 2018.
I will say that the projects that we've all covered in the bear market rally, like AGIX, what was the percent? 2,100%?
Something silly, yeah.
From December until like middle of February or something like that.
1,800.
It's crazy, right? Like, so let's go back into like that sort of thing. Like the projects that we continue to talk about, if you go back through all the podcasts, through all the channel, and you look at all the projects that are constantly talked about, the move, even in the bear market rally, the move would have made you a significant amount of money just as on a swing, right? Yeah, Chris bought a freaking watch from it, right? I lost out. I'll be fair and honest. I'm mad at myself still this day. I missed out on some good money. Trying to beat the market, and that shit doesn't work, by the way. Don't try to beat the market.
You never beat the market. The market is
don't
always
do that.
Win. but the point that
wait, can you show us why you were holding up your hand?
I bought a watch. What did I say on Twitter and in some of the videos? Take some profits, take some of that crypto off the market, right? Like, and take some of that money. We're here to make money. Like, treat yourself occasionally. And that's what I've done. I've gone and I got myself a nice watch. And
congrats, by the way. It's a dope ass watch. I like it.
Yeah, thanks. And
it's very prevalent to see as well. Obviously, you've got it's nice to see it that you've obviously bought the watch. Nick's getting work done, in the house, the studio and stuff. There's so many folk in the Discord, and they're not saying the numbers they've made. I'm not interested in knowing how much money somebody's made. I want to know the percentage they've made. If somebody's invested $100 but made 10,000%, that's the number I care about. I don't care if you put 100,000 in or you put $10 in. If you've made 10,000%, congratulations. That's the only number I want to know. But to know that there's so many people in the Discord right now that have made seriously good returns in this bear market rally, I think it's a testimony to the community that you guys have created here from the day go.
I don't think the trading aspect of Cheeky Crypto is spoken about actually enough. It's not talked about as much as, say, we talk about other stuff.
Yeah, I think I would add to what, just before we get on to sort of the trading aspect of things, like that JB's just mentioned around like people making a lot of money in the Discord and taking profit. And, I spoke to somebody and they were like, managed to take my family on holiday for the first time in 10 years.
That's dope.
Like that is dope. Like,
that's cool.
people buying cars, all sorts of different things from profit taking and stuff like that. But people also saved an awful lot of money in this bear market because of, the information that we've been sharing in the Discord. I had one person reach out to me to thank me personally because they saved $80,000 because they had it all on FTX. And I highlighted that, we had fears about FTX and FTT before 𝗖𝗢𝗠𝗃 put his tweet out originally. So we've kind of navigated this bear market really, really well as a unit, as a team. And it's not just always about how much money you've made. It can also be about how much money you've saved.
That's me for real. Like, because I followed lots of other influencers before I found you guys, before I joined the Discord, before I got a little bit closer with everybody in the community. And I lost a large amount of money for someone my status, right? Like, that was a significant amount of money that I lost. And it's because I wasn't knowledgeable. I was being led in the wrong direction and being told something that wasn't accurate. So, I did want to talk about the trading part of it. JB, I know you're very intertwined with the trading tier, the trading aspect. And I don't think it's really talked about a lot, because I see all the time on Twitter, people are like, oh, I have this trading account, go sign up on Bybit, go do this, go do that. But like, I don't think people understand that, like, we put out trades today alone. I think I've seen 5 trades. Now, were they quote unquote ideal to take? Nick's algorithm says no, right? But it's up to you to decide if you want to take those trades or not, right? But today, I think, am I right? Like 5 went out today, JB, whether it's short-term, medium, or long?
Yeah, there would be more than that went out, but the ones that would flag up were of a more ideal ratio. If there was a few smallers that were like a 0.3 or a 0.4. So your risk-reward ratio. The easiest way to say that is, if this is the size of the trade, and if your entry point is here, the reward is less than the risk. And then I've just realized that folk are going to be listening and cannot see my fingers on the screen. So yeah, if you have 1 to 100 and your entry is at 70, so you're only making 30% on that gain, and you've got 70% of the loss, then it's not an ideal trade. Whereas if it's 1 to 100 and your entry is at 20 and you've got a 70% return, but only 20% loss, then you're going to have a higher reward over risk ratio. So just clear a little thing up here as well. The AGIX trade went out today on the 1 hour before the pullback. I put my name under it. I jumped in on that trade, and I think it was within 31 minutes, I made 79% return, and I took that reward. It was going to go higher. That's what the target was. It was going to go higher, but I was more than happy to get that return. And then the market's pulled back, and I did manage to get out before that, and I will be going back in again. The chart's up there for you guys to see, and you will be able to see straight away when I am getting back in, because it's already marked up on the chart for what's going on.
It's your TA, so you know when to get back in.
Exactly that. But there's other guys up in the trader tier in the members chat that they're jumping in on charts. They're saying, look, my entry was a little different. Is this ideal to get out now? Should I be in this one? So the communication up there between everybody, I think it's second to none right now. I can't think of anyone else that's doing it better than we are right now. Some trades aren't ideal, we know that, and you can't account for FTX. Let's just use that as the figure here. You can't account for that kind of thing happening. You can you can see it maybe in Bitcoin with the way the chart was sitting there, and obviously the wallets, the exchanges. You add all these things up. So yeah, I don't think there's anybody doing it better than we are right now. As for the trades, I think you're going to see a massive change up in trader tier in the coming weeks, and I'll let Chris talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, so we've managed to agree with 𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗃, who we have an affiliate link in the description of the video, to run a bit of a competition around trading. So it's a trading competition. Obviously, everybody can enter. It's free to enter the competition. Just have to sign up with 𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗃 and use the link in the description to participate. Jump in the Discord, and obviously you'll be kept up to date. But it's a weekly competition for both existing sign-ups as well as new sign-ups. So if you've already signed up with us, you're also able to participate for the chance to win $100 each week, and each week it'll just refresh and start all over. So that's going to start on Monday. Obviously, Nick and myself take sole responsibility for the competitions, which it hasn't started yet. So like I say, it'll start on the 13th. It's nothing to do with YouTube. They have no affiliation with it whatsoever, and all the terms and conditions are on the 𝗵𝗀𝗀𝗃 website.
Sounds fun.
Yeah,
sounds pretty cool. I think y'all did it a long time ago too.
Yeah,
it's kind of like it's back, and people really loved it too. I remember that.
we did it through 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗓 themselves originally. But this is slightly different in the respect that Nick and myself are obviously the ones supplying the prize each week. And the previous one was only for new customers. So if you're an existing customer, you couldn't really participate. And I kind of want to change that. I want everybody that's, using our affiliate link to, have the same opportunities as people that are signing up now. So yeah, it should be cool.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, the chats that we have up there just now, up in traders chat, even in members chat, there's a lot of good chats going on just now with the trades. There was a couple jumped on it today with AGIX because I didn't update the chart, and there was a purpose behind it because we're very close to an impulsive trigger. So we uploaded the two possible scenarios that were going to play out, and right enough, one obviously scenario did play out, the other one didn't. And the guys jumped on it like, they were also doing the same, like a similar chart, and they then had the confidence in their skills that they're learning on Elliott Wave through doing the courses. So it's good to see that everybody here is building the knowledge and the strength in their trading here. Everybody's kind of working together, everybody's progressing together, everybody's making money together. I just think it's just such a brilliant place right now.
I'd say as well, do check out 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘 for the courses, right, that JB just mentioned, because there is an Elliott Wave theory course, which is a bit of an enabler to support people understand the charts and the moves a little bit more. But not only that, you've got risk management. We talked about saving money in the space. That is really done through good risk management. So I put a course together on risk management. For example, I only really have 5% of my portfolio kept in one single place, for example. This mitigates risk of big financial loss. I can only ever lose 5% of my portfolio. For example, if an exchange goes down like FTX, you would never have like more than 5% of my portfolio in that one place. So there's loads of different tips and tricks to make sure that you mitigate as much risk as possible, and at least understand the risk that you're holding, because there's many people that hold a number of different risks and don't even realize it. They just think they hold one risk, but actually they might hold 3.
Just to kind of clear this up a little bit, that is not a shill. This is not us saying just selling a product here. This is not a shill. I'd like to say that I'm the living testimony as to what it is we're trying to say here. I left Tesla, went full-time in crypto from everything I have learned from these guys, from Nick, from Chris, Festoon, okay? I had a basic understanding of everything that was going on. I've completed every course that's went out. I've sat in sessions with Festoon. I've sat, and I've told you this at the end of last year, that all I was doing was working on myself, developing myself, learning new skills, constantly still doing the same thing. But this is just, I'd like to say that I'm the testimony as to what is going on in Cheeky School right now, how good it really is. There's several members in the Discord right now. I know folk that have actually spoke to me today, they have signed up, but there's several down there who have signed up and said, look, the clarity they've had, 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧𝗧 course, talk to the guys in the Discord. Don't let us sell you what's up there. Just speak to the folk in the Discord, and you'll be doing yourself a favor.
I believe.
say that. Sorry, I was just going to say, I say the same all the time. Like, take what we say with a pinch of salt. Be it whether it's Patreon membership, YouTube membership, the course aspect of things, whether it's private sales. Don't take our word for how good we think it is. Go ask the people actually hands-on with each one of those elements, whatever it is that you're looking at. Go speak to, like some JB said, somebody that's done the courses or doing the courses. Go see what they think about it. Same with the membership. Jump into the Discord, ask the members, is it worth it? Do you enjoy it? What level should I go for? Ask them. Go have a look at the feedback that they have. I'm like you, JB. I'm so confident in the service that's being provided that I quite often just go on like a social media platform and be like, at members, like, let everybody know how good it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm that confident in it that people won't say anything bad, and they will only have good things to say. So
Okay,
Let's get into why we actually came on here tonight. Let's talk about Powell.
Back to Jerome Powell. So Jerome Powell told Congress Tuesday, where we're recording, the central bank will likely raise its key interest rate higher than anticipated and could resume larger hikes after slowing the pace in recent months. Now, quote unquote, he says, as I mentioned, the latest economic data have come in stronger than expected, which suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates is likely to be higher than previously anticipated. He also added, if the totality of the data were to indicate that faster tightening is warranted, we would be prepared to increase the pace of rate hikes. So if they hadn't slowed down, he probably wouldn't have had to have that conversation today. So now testifying in front of Congress saying, oops, I effed up. Sorry. Chris is patting himself on the back right now because I'm pretty sure he called that shit. We all did. We were all sitting there in Discord like, oh, it's going to be 50. It's going to be 50. They'd be stupid to do 25. They did 25. And then the market, rallies up to 25K. And now today he comes out and says this shit and everything's dumping again. It's like a cat and mouse game, man. It's just so frustrating. But yeah, I think we're going to get hit with a 50. I think we're going to get hit with a 50 at the end of March. Friday is a jobs report. Friday's jobs report is going to be a very, very, very big report for what probably is going to happen at the end of this month. That's my opinion. And then I think at the next one, depending on all this quote unquote data, it might be 50 or 75. And at that point, I think we finally reached the bottom. That's my opinion.
Can I just say, I am not going to be humble when this all plays out.
You shouldn't be.
No, I shouldn't be. No, we've been humble every time.
But you should take all the screenshots and all the clips of you saying all this shit and put it into a video and just put it on there and just put ... And that's it.
Yeah, maybe. Look, it's interesting, right? It's interesting, but like I'm here rubbing my hands together like, come on, baby, come on.
It's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, look, I've always kind of said that it's going to be a slow pace. I've always kind of said May, June. It's going to be slow.
I think you said July.
No, I'm pretty sure I said May or June.
This is obviously something else I want to kind of jump onto here. This is why I share it in the Discord. I've been trying to do it as much as I can, sharing the coverage of the FOMC, sharing the coverage of the minutes. Other things like the ECB monetary policy meetings. I know it's not going to interest a lot of the American listeners or the Australian listeners, but listening into these meetings, the meetings after them, the press conferences after them, the minutes that we listened to after the last meeting, the information that I think the whole community took out of that, everybody talking about what the what the Fed had done, how the mistakes that they had made. This was off the back of the minutes being released. They spoke so much about all the mistakes that the Fed have made by only raising the basis points by 25. It should have been 50. The next ones must be 50. And they gave X, Y, and Z as a reason to, excuse me again, guys, sorry. They gave X, Y, and Z the reasons why it should have been a higher raise of interest rates than what it was, what it should be next. This is how to curb inflation, how to solve the issues that are going on. So, this is why I've been trying to get folk more interested in listening to the meetings and, reading articles about things that are going on, because this is telling us what's going on. Just before I do finish off that, we're seeing here that obviously the yields, the short-term yields are climbing high. I think they've hit a new milestone as well, the first since 2007 that they've hit 5% in America. Now, yields climb when bond prices fall. Now, we're seeing that straight off the back of the meeting of Powell's testimony. And he did obviously say that the central bank would likely raise interest rates higher. This is all having a knock-on effect here. There's so much going on. Just pay attention to all these things that are happening because everything is relevant.
I think there's...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I think there's a huge risk that they go higher than 0.5. I don't think they will, but there is a big risk that could happen.
I'm not really.
If the job report comes in higher than what it was last month, 0.75 is back on the table. Last month was 516,000 jobs. If it comes in at 700 and some thousand jobs, 0.75. That's gonna be my opinion. Now, if jobs come in at say 175,000, right? Say, let's be the devil's advocate here. Do they stick with 0.25?
No.
I'm calling it now. It will be. I said that to you the other night, Mike, when we had a chat. I do call it often. It should be 0.5. It should have been 0.5. The last few calls should have been 0.5. I understand the call before Christmas, why it was 0.25. The call before that should have been 0.5, and it wasn't. The call at the start of this year should have been 0.5. It wasn't. And again, I'm sticking with my guns. It will be at least 0.5 this next meeting. It has to be.
I think as well, like a lot of people have got the whole market wrong. I think, even after those minutes, like I was watching influencers saying it's not that bad, and they're gonna get those the money printer printing, and like that shit is not happening. Like I don't even know where people were getting this sort of idea from. Like,
well, because if you've done it once, they think that you could do it again.
Yeah, but I think the Fed has screwed up so bad, and I don't think people even now quite realize how messed up it is.
He did have a very tough problem though.
Oh, look, right.
I wouldn't want to be in his shoes.
I know, but like it was he was in his shoes when he caused the problem. Right. So, you made your bed, now fucking lie in it. Right. Like I don't
taking a drink.
I don't align with that. But what I would say is I am fearful that they're going to be able to resolve the matter, the problem, without it getting so very bad.
The other thing I want to quickly add on to what you've just said there is there was a lot of talk on Bloomberg. I'm sad, and it's what I sit and watch during the day whilst I'm sitting here charting my TVs here, and I leave Bloomberg on. There was a lot of talk that a physical recession, now we know the recession is in place right now, but the categorization of a recession has not been met in the US markets.
That's the 2 and 10 year.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it has never been said that the recession has started. And the fear now is the recession will not start.
Correct.
And this is all leading on to what Powell may now do in the following meetings. Now that's key, I think, going forward to the length of this bear market that we're in for the bull run to start. We obviously know that these two line up, but the fact that a recession may not start, I think is going to be a big factor. I'll leave it there.
All right. So we're here. It's March. We're expecting, look, we're going to wrap things up, but I want to get into, we're in March. We got a Fed's meeting at the end of this month. The next meeting, I believe, is in May. Is that correct?
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong. And then at that point, I feel like we're really going to know where we are. We'll be almost halfway through the year at that point. By that point, I think we finally get a fucking news headline that says, we're in a global recession. Finally. Bitch, we've been in a global recession for fucking 2 years. So glad you could bring it out on your headlines. Yes, go ahead.
For me, I feel the end of June we'll have an idea, because we'll have the minute release from the May meeting, and the discussions that will come off the back of that. I think we'll have a better outlook as to where the market is as a whole. Going forward with just what we're talking about now, like interest rates and everything else, bonds and yields. I think come the end of March, when we see potentially the minutes released from the FOMC from May, the ECB reports that will come out in June, even the RBA reports from Australia, things that folk, I know a lot of folk won't pay any interest in. I said I'm sad I sit and listen to this all day, but all these reports come out in June, and I think they would be very prevalent to listen to understand where the rest of the year kind of is.
So I think we're all in agreement lower lows are coming, right? Do we believe that lower lows? Chris, you've gone silent. Looks like you're in research development right now.
No, I was reading, but is it that obvious?
Yes, it was actually.
Yeah, look, I expect lower lows. I think that should come as no surprise. This is coming from somebody that was saying to Nick the last time the new lower low came in, let's not talk about lower lows no more. And that goes to show how confident I am in the fact that I expect new lower lows.
Do we think a bull run starts this year?
I'll tell you at the end of June.
Chris, same answer.
I kind of align with that. I think that we have, like, I guess to go alongside that, I think we've got one more lower low. And then
I'm buying that low.
I think that we're then done with new lower lows.
Yeah.
Will we retest? Maybe, potentially that's something that may happen afterwards. But I think the next big pullback, I think that's the final one, outside of there being this massive black swan event, be it a cyber attack that takes down all the computer systems, something to do with the war between Ukraine and Russia. Outside of those unknowns,
an actual black swan event, just to
not one of these black swan events that are predictable, like the banks stopping people from onboarding into the crypto space. Not a black swan event that you can predict with the likes of FTX and BlockFi and Celsius and Voyager, where there were signs in the lead up. We're talking like proper black swan events.
Okay, well, guess we'll find out. Got a long way to go.
My money. It's not that far away, is it? 3 months?
I don't know. I just keep working, and
eventually, it is.
Eventually, when I get
Chris
buys, when Chris buys on Discord, then I'll be like, and Nick buys at the same day. Then I'm like, all right, we're there finally. But you got to be a part of Discord to know that. So jump your ass into Discord so you know when that things are going to happen. JB, am I correct in thinking that you used to wear glasses?
Still do.
This whole time I've been looking at you. I'm like, something's different about JB. Did he get like LASIK or something?
No, what he's got is he's got the crypto full-time glare, the glow. Since he's left Tesla, he's got the crypto glow. That's what it is. I've got it too, just can't see it because of all the lights.
It's a culmination of a few things. I've got a ring light up here, and when I wear glasses, it comes back into the camera, so I can't wear glasses when I record, so I have to wear contact lenses.
And you just ordered a...
Can't say that because Louise is going to listen to this. My wife's going to listen to this, and now
he hasn't
spent a fortune on it.
He hasn't ordered. That's make believe.
Yeah.
Now Chris will edit that out.
One thing I really wanted to buy. I don't care.
Chris, edit that out. My bad. I didn't know.
No,
I didn't get the memo.
One thing I wanted to do was the bullish in the secret lab, something that was one of my targets I wanted to hit. Shit. So I got the computer. The computer's something I wanted. I got the setup that I wanted next in the list. So yeah.
I'm so happy for both of you being full-time in crypto. I have to, once we finish this, go back out to the shop and work on like physical stuff. So I'm proud of both of you.
It's physical talking all day,
This is true. It's very true. All right, guys. Hey, look, it's been fun. I'm glad to be back. That was a fun one. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. I don't even know how we're going to wrap it up. Maybe we'll just say bye, or we could get, final thoughts. That's how we used to do it. Chris, final thoughts.
So my final thoughts are, and general thoughts is, when are you next on, Mike?
Oh, shit. I think I'm going to shoot for once a week for now, right? This is such an ass. We're going to go with once a week.
Yeah.
Okay. And if I feel like I can shoot for 2 times a week, then we'll do 2 times a week. So
yeah, sorry. No, jokes aside.
You have so much editing to do.
I do, don't I? I might just leave a lot of it in.
Yeah, just leave it.
I think go look at new projects that are launching. I think in the bear market, these are the altcoins with the biggest potentials, but the highest risk.
JB, final thoughts?
Final thoughts, I've got a few. So first off, don't tell Mike any secrets because he'll expose you online and tell your wife.
Fuck, I'm sorry.
Secondly, guys, I just want to say a massive thank you, obviously, to everyone in the Discord support and obviously the great feedback you've been giving me since I've started here. It doesn't go unnoticed and it is very appreciated. Third, this podcast channel, it's grew leaps and bounds. We're at 2,883 subscribers, when we record this right now. So we're seeing great progression there. I want to see it grow bigger. So yeah, again, another thank you to that. And I will leave you with my usual close that if you guys are going to trade, please trade safely, have a nice tight stop loss, make great gains. We'll see you next time out, guys.
Yeah, and as we're speaking, Bitcoin's about to lose 22K again. So that's freaking fantastic. Let's go.
Where's my handheld mic?
Some good trades are coming in. So if you guys listen to this, you're not part of the trader tier, you should jump on it because I do think a move back up is coming very soon. My final thoughts are, I ain't got no final thoughts. Just be good to be back. Glad to be back in front of a camera, talking a bunch of shit. And yeah, had fun with you guys. And we will catch all of you in the next one.